Hello everybody and welcome to Mark Goldbridge, That's Football. My hair is not good there. Don't like that. Don't like that bit. This is the trouble. This is lockdown hair. It's starting to drop out of place and I don't like it. But how are we all doing anyway? Welcome to That's Football. Two watch-alongs for you today. Two big games in the top four race. Chelsea visit Southampton this game and then Everton visit Anfield this afternoon at 5:30. So two big games. And games tomorrow, Man United, Newcastle, Villa, Leicester, West Ham, Spurs. The race for top four is well and truly up and running. Not the race for the title, that's gone, forget about that. But hope we're all doing well. How are you all doing? I think we're going to have a good set of games today, hopefully. Mendy's back in goal for Chelsea. We'll go through the team news in a minute. Southampton in free fall. I think they've lost 6 games in a row at the moment. So, yeah, you know, it is interesting in that sense as to what is going on with Southampton, but we'll give you the team news. I'm just making sure I've got the timer ready because it's nice. It's nice sometimes just to go live a little bit before the game. We'll be live at 5 today, half an hour before kickoff for the Everton Liverpool game, because it's we'll have some afternoon games to digest as well. But let me just get that ready and let's come back to the live comments. Okay, Ewan says, "Hey Mark, you should do a Grand National watch along." I am, Ewan. It's not till next month though. It's April for the Grand National. I have done a Grand National watch along before. If you check that out, yeah, I have done it before. And hey Mark, predictions tomorrow for the big game, Arsenal versus City, says Rappalarano. Well, I have to pull you up on that. It's not a big game. It's a straightforward win for Man City, isn't it? Hey Mark, is it true that Son wants to come to Man United, says Manchester Blue? I've not heard anything about that. If anyone wants to give me anything credible about that, I'd certainly like it, but I don't see it being the case. Right, let's go through the team news. Southampton then. McCarthy, Salusa, Bednarek, Vestergaard, Bertrand, Yenepo, Ward-Prowse, Romu, Minamino, Ings and Redmond. I mean, they have got injury problems at Southampton. One of them is probably beneficial that Walcott's not fit. There's not a lot on the bench for them in relation to depth of quality. Chelsea, Mendy, Azpilicueta, Zuma, Rudiger, James and Alonso as a back five. Kante starts with Kovacic, Mount, Werner and Abraham. So strong side for Chelsea, and look at their bench. Jorginho, Giroud, Hudson-Odoi, Chilwell, Ziyech. Gilmore's on the bench as well. Lots and lots of depth in quality for Chelsea. I feel it's a Chelsea win today, but I also feel that Southampton have got to get a result. They're on a ridiculously bad run. I think this would be the 7th loss in the row in the Premier League if they lose it. So they need a result today, Southampton. And to be honest with you, Chelsea, apart from Man City, are the form team in the Premier League at the moment. So I'm going to go with a Chelsea 2-0 win. But totally from a top 4 point of view and a Manchester United point of view, and I suppose a West Ham, Spurs and everybody else point of view, if Chelsea were to drop points today, it would be very, very beneficial for United because we play Chelsea next week and the gap is 4 points. Now, if they win today and we win tomorrow, still 4 points, but if they beat us next week, it's down to 1. Whereas if they drop points today and we win tomorrow, we can knock that gap up to 6 points and it just gives us a bit more breathing space. But I think that's replicated in a lot of games today. Everton and Liverpool, ideally that's a draw, because they're both teams that can get into the top 4 race as well. Villa, Leicester, hopefully that's a draw tomorrow. West Ham, Tottenham, again, all very... apart from Man United playing Newcastle, who are not in the top 4 race, there's some really interesting games coming up in this top 4 race this weekend. So I don't know what everyone's score predictions are. I personally do think it will probably be a Chelsea win, just because on form at the moment Chelsea are the form side and Southampton are not. But Southampton have got to turn it around at some point, haven't they? So get your score predictions in. How are you today, Alfie? Good. Morning show on the United Stand, quick walk, lunchtime watch along, 5:30 watch along. Busy day, but looking forward to it. Ronaldo says 1-0 to Southampton. Scott Jackson says 1-1. Say hi to Dean, says XDJ Spartan. And Mark, my polar bear watched your vlog and wanted to know where you live, says A10G. Bring it on. Australian Open final watch along, says LG7. I've not taken any notice of that, to be honest with you. Predictions for the Liverpool game, says Josh. I just don't think... I don't know. It depends what Everton team they put out. Burko says 2-0 to Chelsea. So does Somalia. And 2-1 Chelsea dub, says Thomas Wood. Yeah, I think it depends what Everton can put out today. If Calvert-Lewin's available, and I don't think Yerry Mina's available, Everton just seem to be... I've even heard people talking about Ancelotti losing his job which is crazy to me. But the problem Everton have got is that, despite not having any European football, I looked at Everton's activity, and it's very good activity from Everton, but they don't have the squad depth, I don't think. You've still got people like, you're giving game time to people like Iwobi. Now, Anthony Taylor is the referee. I think he's the worst referee in the league, which is saying something. You say CDM's a priority, but Matic can still do a job, says Simon. Well, why is he not doing a job then? Anthony Taylor, apparently Chelsea don't have a good record when Anthony Taylor's the referee. I don't think that's any slight against Anthony Taylor, but he is a bad referee in my opinion. And there are some bad referees in the Premier League. Anyway, we're about to kick off here. Mino's playing for Southampton, of course. And Ward-Prowse kicks it off. Let's get the timer up on screen. There we go. Chelsea did get the best years out of Chelsea. Matic, DJ Massey. Look how red that area is of the edge of the pitch at Southampton. It's proper red, isn't it? It's proper claret. He's got claret all over his face. I punched him in the nose and there was claret all over his face. Mark, who do you prefer, Haaland or Mbappe? I'd prefer Mbappe, Chris Peacock. I've been asked this a lot this week, and I just think if I had a choice between the two, I would take Mbappe because he's more flair, isn't he? Alfie says, where's Havertz? Must be injured, mate. Got to be injured, isn't he? Got to be injuries. It's not tea or coffee, it's peppermint tea, Scott Morris. So thanks very much for that. Have a little patient, Ollie Outers. Ranick says, ice, UCK. I hope Southampton get out of the hole we put them in, says Noisy. And Mark just tuned in to Michael Caine for a second there. Okay. It was meant to be Danny Dyer, but I'll take anything I can get. Chilwell's not starting again, says Alfie Hurst. No, obviously Tuchel does not, Tuchel, or whatever you meant to pronounce his name, doesn't rate Chilwell, which you and me both. I'll tell you what, I'm interested to watch Kante today because a lot of United fans have said, oh, cheeky Kante bid in the summer, and I don't think Kante's up to it anymore. I don't know how old Kante is. I think he might be 29, but I might be wrong on that. He might be actually older, but I've seen a real drop. Yes, 29. He's going to be 30 next month, so I think I've seen a real drop-off in Kante, so I'm interested to see how he gets on today. I don't think he's the player he was 2 or 3 years ago anyway, in my humble opinion. Scooby-Doo. Kante isn't the player he once was, says Jimmy John. I agree with you there. But Nathan Redmond playing off Danny Ings in a front two is quite interesting. I do rate Nathan Redmond. Ziyech just can't settle, can he? He's probably a bit like Van der Beek. I was talking about this on the United stand. Quite interesting comments from Dirk Kuyt. I don't know whether anybody saw them. He used to play for Liverpool and obviously Holland. He was saying that it's not easy to come from the Dutch league into the Premier League, and that might be why people like Van der Beek and Ziyech haven't settled, but you've got to give them patience. So, Reece James, nice little ball. Ooh, nearly found Werner, but it's back with the keeper. Yeah, so I've gone 2-0 to Chelsea in this game, but I would like to see them drop points. And if anything, that is an actual bit of respect to Chelsea, because I think they are a genuine threat to United at the moment. They're in. We're playing them next week. They're in a good vein of form. They've got confidence with their new manager. They seem happy with the way that they're playing, and I think it will make for a difficult game for Man United next week. So I hope they drop points. Just watched last night's United Stand show, and now I can't get chip butties off my brain. Second lunch it is, says Joshua Bellwater. Oh yeah, chip butty. Well, what's everyone having tonight? Sometimes Saturday night is a takeaway night, isn't it? So what you got in mind? But chip butty would be nice. Mark, you ever heard Berlin? No, I've not heard of that name, because it's basically two names put together to make out that you've got a big penis, which I ain't thick about. I really like Ziyech. Would Defo take him at United on the right wing? Creative and skillful thoughts, Mark, says Joel Corbyn. I'm stunned by Ziyech, actually. Probably more than Van der Beek. I really thought with Chelsea they'd got a really good player in Ziyech. Aaron's having a T-bone steak. Oh yeah. And so just Ginger's having a steak as well. Maybe they're having the same one. But yeah, I do like Ziyech, and I'm quite surprised how long it's taken for him to settle in. A lot of steak in the live comments. Harry's having a steak as well. Corey says he's having my dog. I don't know whether he's eating his dog or what. Don't ask. Homemade burger and chips. Lovely even. That sounds nice. Chinese for tea tonight, says Leicester till I die. Big game for Leicester tomorrow against Villa. I think that'll be... I mean, obviously Chelsea didn't play in Europe this week, but I do predict that Southampton, United, Arsenal and Villa, a few of those, I guarantee not all four are going to win. I think there's going to be points dropped. That Europa League Thursday to Sunday thing, when you think Villa have had a week off, West Ham have had a week off, Man City have had a week off, and Man City played Everton, to be fair, but they didn't play Thursday night, did they? And Newcastle have had a week off as well. So good pressing here from Southampton. Chelsea doing this passing game out the back, and it's worked very well. Werner's slipped away. Plays it inside to Mount. Good play from Chelsea there. That'll please their fans, the way they passed the way out of the press from Southampton. And this should be 1-0. Alonso. Oh, it should be 1-0. Reece James gets it over onto the back post area. And Alonso on the half volley just shoots it wide. Good chance. How do you like your steak? Medium rare. Medium rare for me. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. And I'm doing a watch along for Liverpool Everton, yeah. That was the one I was going to do today. This is the bonus one, really. I just was like, oh, I might watch that if I can. Yeah, Fabrizio Romano's just tweeted that there's no contact with Manchester United for Sergio Ramos, which some people are just obsessed with, but it's clearly not going to happen. LA Alman says he's got over 1.5 goals for this match. Let's go. Yeah, I think you'll be all right with that, mate. What am I eating today? We've got a meal. It's like an Italian meal that we've ordered in to come tonight from a restaurant. So looking forward to that. Something a little bit different. Because Matic isn't being picked, playing with Van der Beek, says Simon. Yeah, he's been given these chances. I think Simon is Matic. He was on the super chats on United Stand this morning. He's obsessed by Matic, but the reality is Matic has played this season and he's been absolutely trash. So Matic has only got himself to blame. I really wish Matic was playing well for United, but he's not, which is why he's not getting picked. I'm blue dabba says, fun fact, polar bears scream while pooping and polar bears do not eat penguins, Mark. They don't even live together. Oh God. Do you really think on my vlog attention to detail is my major priority? And Simon is Ricky, says Shane Brown. Do you know why Van der Beek didn't play on Thursday? Is he injured? Yep, he is. And are you having a party for 1 million subs, says Duff? Oh yeah, I'm having a big party with just myself in lockdown, yep. And can we get a Scooby-Doo? You've missed it, Callum. You've missed it. You've got to be punctual or you'll miss things like that. So I'm not doing it again. Thoughts on Tammy Abraham, says Alfie. I think Tammy Abraham's probably, is a good run by Kante. And well defended there. I've just realised that the lad... Oh, no. Who was the lad who got sent off for Southampton against United? Was it... What was his name? It was Jankwitz, wasn't it? He's on the bench, 64. Yeah, I thought he was on the bench. So he could come on, number 64. All has been forgiven. Hugo, rugby watch along will be next Saturday afternoon, England against Wales, yes. Looking forward to that. No rugby this weekend, it's a weekend off in the Six Nations. So, yes. 10 minutes gone, still 0-0. Yeah, Slideaway's letting people know that McTominay's got an English accent. You see, attention to detail again, do you think I care? And do you think the pressure will be back on if we draw or lose versus Newcastle? Yes, ACDC, there's one thing about football, and certainly about Manchester United, is that you're only as good as your last result. And I thought we were very good on Thursday against Sociedad. We were very bad against West Brom. So, and the other thing about Man United is you never know what you're going to get. It's the old Forrest Gump box of chocolates, isn't it? You just don't know what you're going to get. So if we don't win tomorrow, the usual pressure will ramp up again. Are you doing Liverpool versus Everton watch along, says Joel Morris? Yes, I am. So subscribe, bottom right hand corner, get involved with the channel. Everybody's welcome on here. We'll be live at 5 o'clock for that one, but at the moment it's Southampton versus Chelsea. Quite an equal game. I'd say Chelsea are just about edging it at the moment. Better quality players, as you'd expect. But playing with a lot of confidence, Chelsea, and obviously Southampton aren't. But we might be about to hit that part of the season where you start to get consistency now. I mean, look, I know Man City are consistent, but you know, we could get to that point of the season now where the shocks start to disappear. You know, Chelsea roll into town and win again today. Man United beat Newcastle tomorrow. Liverpool beat Everton tonight. We might start to see that top four go away with it. Now, look, everyone's going to say you're sleeping on Leicester, and that's the whole thing. I do sleep on Leicester because I don't think they will be in the top four, but I don't know. I don't know what people think. Do you think we're now going to see the consistency of Chelsea, Man United and Liverpool that we haven't really seen all season? Do you think that now, when it matters, that consistency is going to come? And it does tend to happen because start of the season, plenty of time to recover. Towards the end of the season, or Mount just plays it behind Reece James, otherwise he might have been in. Still on the attack, Mason Mount, Ward-Prowse. I don't know what they're doing here, Southampton, trying to pass it out at the back. If in doubt, boot it out. Kante, good run. Cross. Keeper's got hold of it. Yeah, I just think, you know, now Chelsea know they've got to keep winning if they want top four. Liverpool know they've got to keep winning if they want top four. United are in the top four. They've got to keep winning. I just wonder whether now we'll start to see the West Hams, the Evertons, you know, drift. I don't know what people think about that. Or will it continue to be a very inconsistent season? As a Newcastle fan, do you think you could beat us tomorrow, and what's your prediction? I think it depends on team selections for both teams, says Finley. Well, anybody's got a chance against United when we pick Lindelof and Maguire, and we will pick Lindelof and Maguire, but I think we'll win 2-0 because I think Newcastle without Callum Wilson are a bit toothless. I watched them against Chelsea. Very competitive side, but if you haven't got quality in the final third, you can't hurt teams, and I think that's the problem with them at the moment. Are you going to do a watch along tomorrow? I'm doing Man United Newcastle tomorrow. I don't know that I'm doing any other games tomorrow on here. I haven't decided yet. There's a few I'd like to do. I'd like to do Villa Leicester. I'd like to do West Ham Spurs, but we'll see. It might happen. I'll see how we go tomorrow. Palace versus Brighton, says Archie Record. What's your prediction on that one? I think Brighton will win, but it's a funny game, isn't it? Palace versus Brighton, because it's some sort of it is a bit of a derby for some reason, isn't it? They're playing on Monday night, by the way. Fulham Sheffield United tonight, definitely a film night, isn't it? No one's watching that on a Saturday night. God, you really have got to not like films to watch Fulham versus Sheffield United. I don't think even Fulham and Sheffield United fans want to watch that, although it is a big game at the bottom. Fulham need to win that, but yeah, I definitely won't be paying any attention to that one. I can tell you that for free. Mark, confident Man United will finish above Leicester, says Mr. Big Sexy 76. I wouldn't say I'm confident at the moment of anything. I think that the league is, as I said a minute ago, I think we might start to see some consistency, but then again, it might become even more consistent with everyone back playing in Europe. But thanks for the super chat there. You can do that through the $ if you want. Chelsea starting to get the momentum here, in Southampton finding it very difficult to get on the ball. It's a foul by Alonso. I'm not doing Arsenal versus Man City watch along, Ronaldo, because it's just not a big game. Man City are going to win that one comfortably. And also, it crosses over with Man United. I can't do it because I think Man City Arsenal kick off at 4:30 and United are kicking off at 7. So I'll be live at 5:30 on the United stand talking about the team news, which is only half time in the Man City Arsenal game. So sometimes I just can't do it because it clashes. I'll have the game on whilst doing the United stand in the second half, but I'm not doing a watch along here. Yeah, the Man City won't lose against Arsenal. No chance. Big fan of Chelsea's system. Aspilicueta is basically playing right back, says Zed Jamie. Yeah, it's a good system, isn't it? It is a back three, but Alonso and Reece James get forward a lot. I think Tuchel ultimately will be out of a job in 18 months, not because he's a bad coach. I just don't think, well, as we know with Abramovich, he's very impatient. He will want to be the best team in the league. That's what Abramovich wants to be. You can't argue with that. He's been very good at doing that. I just don't think Tuchel, or however you say it, will be able to break the domination of Pep Guardiola and Klopp, and therefore he will end up out of a job. But they do play a lot better than they have done, and the improvement in the players is ridiculous. You can really tell the players that down tools for Lampard, because they're now playing absolutely brilliantly. Have you seen Dutch centre back? No, Luca, I haven't. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of you, Luca, because it's so boring to see. I feel that you need to be blocked because of such a rubbish waste of a comment. Do you think Reece James playing right wing back will cement his place in the Southgate England's team? This is A10G. Well, he doesn't pick Wan-Bissaka, does he? So, and I think he doesn't pick him because of his lack of ability going forward. I like Reece James. I've always said he's a good player. I'm not talking about that, Linus. If you want to talk about that, go and watch the United Stand. It's not been spoken about on this show. Bye, Caden. Cancelo, best right back in the world, Iron says. And opinions on Kovacic, Mark, says Darian. Well, everyone knows who watches this channel that I think Kovacic is fantastic, underrated. He was poor under Lampard, but I do like him. I think he's exactly the one, perfect player to play in a double pivot. I mean, you look at that double pivot of Chelsea today and you compare it to what Man United have got in Fred and McTominay, and it's embarrassing, really. I mean, the way they're moving the ball quickly. Is exactly what Man United are missing. Most improved United player this season, Mark, says Alex. Luke Shaw. Hi, Mark. My team got a very important match today. We beat Hull. We not only end a run of 3 consecutive defeats, but we are still in the title race as Forever Football. He's a Doncaster Rovers fan, if anyone wants to know. So there you go. That was my comment. You copied it, says Amat. Don't know what you're talking about. And Mark, will you be back on Twitch? It's funny, actually. It's almost like I am planning on going back on Twitch. I've got some content planned. I'm not going to tell you what it is because that's the exciting thing, isn't it? But there's so many things that people want me to do at the moment that I can't get it all done on YouTube. So basically what I'm doing at the moment is I'm looking at scheduling. So obviously I do a lot on United Stand, do a lot on That's Football. So I'm just trying to free up a little bit more time so that I can do some of the things people have asked me to do. And some of it's a bit different. So yeah, we'll be back on there, but not in the immediate future, but definitely it's in the plan. Morning, Mark. Not sure we've done this already, but like to do this with other watch-alongs. Which player are you taking from each team and why? Says Daniel Luciano. I like that one. It's Daniel, that's exactly the sort of comment we need on That's Football. So if I was taking one player from Southampton, we do need a centre-back, but I don't really like either of their centre-backs. We do need a midfielder, but I don't really think Romu or Ward-Prowse help us in our current way of playing. I think I'd probably take Danny Ings as a sort of backup striker to Cavani. I think that would work quite well. So I think I'd take Danny Ings. And from Chelsea, I've got to take a midfielder, and for me, it's Kovacic. Yeah, I think Kovacic would work really well with someone like Fred in a pivot. But if you did get a really good CDM, you'd probably have to play the CDM and Kovacic with Bruno ahead of them, and I think that would be a great midfield three. So Ings and Kovacic for me. I like that. Let's do that on every game from now on. I like that one. Well done. Vestergaard is class, Mark. Yeah, he's not that class, is he? You know, they're conceding a lot of goals. I don't think he'd work at Man United. As I said, it's my opinion. You can have yours. Have seen Zerka react to the rage yet? Well, I've seen some clips of it yet. Why not Kante? I don't think Kante's as good as he used to be. I'd rather take Kovacic. I think some people just say the word Kante when they're being lazy. You know, it's like, you know, have you ever got those friends that when you say best film ever and they say Godfather and you know they've not watched it and you start asking questions about the film like, yeah, I loved it when they brought the birthday cake in that had a card on it saying that Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishers. Yeah, I loved that bit. Well, it wasn't a cake, it was a fish. You've never bloody watched it, have you? And I just think people with Kante now, they just say Kante, but I've got no actual realisation that he's not the player that he was and hasn't been for about a year. So I don't think Kante is the, you know, it's just a lazy thing for me to say Kante. Somebody was just talking about the ball, saying they love it. Anthony White says, I love the new ball. It's very retro. And thank you for the contribution from Roy Nugent. You're right, Mark. Kante's dropped off a bit this season. Kovacic as class, as Ewan. Maguire and Vestergaard together. Couldn't think of anything worse as Mini Red Devil 7. Well, I was trying to be nice. I said that Southampton defenders would not work at United. No. If I had to take a centre-back off that pitch, I would, and Chelsea fans will laugh at this, but I would take, well, it would be Rudiger or Zuma for me. Because I think they have the attributes Man United are looking for. Lucas says, please don't stop doing Goldbridge at home. It's so good. Check them out if you've not seen it. Goldbridge at home on the Goldbridge channel. In fact, the link's in the video description. Check it out. 20 minutes gone, still 0-0. I think Southampton will be quite happy with this. Although, to me, this has got the feeling of a game that Chelsea get the goal and Southampton don't come back, and it does go 2-0. So, we're only 20 minutes in. I wouldn't be worried if I was Chelsea at the moment. You feel that chance is going to come, whereas Southampton are creating next to nothing. They're finding so much space. Lovely raking ball out to Alonso. He's on the left wing. Cross comes in, goes for a corner. Hi, Mark. What's your favourite kit of all time? Doesn't have to be a United one. Says anything with Tom. And I take Reece James at United over Aaron Ramsaka. I rate Aaron Ramsaka, but James over so much going forward. Your thoughts, says Tom Boone. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. As a United fan, I agree with you. I prefer Reece James. Because, you know, United fans love Wan-Bissaka. But the problem is, he's still got a lot to grow in relation to him going forward. And I think Reece James is good going forward. Reece James is the more balanced right back out of Trent, Wan-Bissaka and Reece James. You know, Trent's good going forward, not so good at the back. Wan-Bissaka's good at the back, not so good going forward. Reece James is more a combination of the two. So, yeah. Favourite kit of all time? Tell you a story. Back in the 90s, we were at school and used to be really into kits. In art, it wasn't even what the art teacher wanted us to do, but we just used to sit there designing football kits. I'm sure all lads have been through it at some point where you design your own kits and you think you're a genius. So I was really into kits. But my favourite kit of all time is the one I've got. I've got it upstairs. It's the Man United away kit from the season that we won the Premier League for the first time. And it's navy blue. It's like a royal blue with black paint splatters on it. That's probably my favourite kit of all time, even though some people would think it's disgusting. But I did like a kit around that time. It was a Blackburn Rovers away kit. It was black with red stripes on it and a red collar. Quite simple, but I did like it. And my mate went into town and bought it, and I borrowed it, and I never gave it back. And he still wants it back now. I'm like, it won't fit you now, you fat git. You know, you're about 20 stone now. But which he laughed about because he always calls me something quite inappropriate as well. And I'm not that. I don't know why he thinks I am that. I've always been straight. But the reality is, I don't know where it is anyway, so you can't have it back. But I tell you what kit I did like as well. Arsenal, JVC, yellow, but it had these like V's on it. Really liked that kit. Probably circa 90... early 90s. I did like it. Mark, who would you take from Everton? Well, we'll do that on this afternoon, Roy Nugent. We will do that from now on. I didn't thief it because there was no intention to permanently deprive, which is what the actual wording of the Theft Defence Act 1968 is. I didn't intend to permanently deprive him. I wanted to borrow it, and then I've lost it. So if he wants recompensing, he can be. Liam Mansbridge, I can't read that out, thanks. Can't read that out, Joel Corbyn as well. And I'm a bit worried, Joel, why you would even type those words. Basically, it's asking me for a comment on Saliba's manhood, which, you know, why would I want to talk about that? Mark, who's the best dead ball specialist in the league in your opinion? Well, we've got one on the pitch at the moment. Ward-Prowse ain't bad, is he? That's a good question. Who do you think's the best dead ball specialist in the Premier League at the moment? I mean, Trent used to be very good. He's just having a bad season, isn't he? Ward-Prowse is ridiculously consistent from corners and free kicks. I mean, I do rate Bruno, obviously, but I think Ward-Prowse has got to be up there, isn't it? He really does. McNally says Ward-Prowse easily. Fingers crossed for a director of football, Mark. God knows we need it, says the Inquisition. Yeah, I think those fingers are going to get crossed a long, long time. Ward Priest, obviously, says Daniel Haddery. Something to confess? It's Ward Prowse, mate. And who do you think will win PFA Player of the Year? Well, a lot of people are saying Ward Prowse, so I think we'll settle on Ward Prowse on that one. It's definitely not David Luiz, Henry Shepherd. To me, the Player of the Year is easily Bruno Fernandes. Wait a minute, Tammy's got it down the right-hand side. And Ward-Prowse picks it up. Southampton have offered very little in this game. Considering they've had a week off, I don't know what they're doing. But they look like a team lacking confidence, don't they? And it wasn't that long ago that Southampton were actually up near the top. But yeah, I mean, Harry Kane could be in the mix, but I think Bruno's been more consistent. Salah could be in the mix as well. I think Salah's problem is that Liverpool have been bad, haven't they? But I don't know if anybody in the live comments knows this. It'd be very good to know. I know that the PFA used to get voted for by the players. And the deadline was like December, which is ridiculous because there's still half a season to go. So I don't know what the deadline for voting is, because I think that'll have a big difference to play, because Gundogan's been good this season as well. I know it's League One level, but one... Oh, hold on. No, it's all right. Bertrand will clear it. I know it's League One level, but one youngster I'd keep your eye on is Tyler Richards, on loan from Brighton, 20 goals and physical cam, says Forever Football DRFC. Thank you very much. They do still vote in December, I think, apparently, which I think is ridiculous. If it was voted for in December, it will be Bruno, won't it? Because, Gundogan's only been really good in the last sort of couple of months. My mate and I love your stream, says Mostly Football. Thank you. Yeah, if you want me to read that out, mate, you really need to be on a Robbie stream. I'm not thick. I'm not saying Robbie's thick, but he does not have any filter in relation to people are trying to get him to say rude words until he says it. It's because it's for the year, not the season, says Fergus. Really? I suppose that's a very logical explanation, really, but I've always felt it was for the season. Well, if it's for the year, it's Bruno anyway, because Bruno's had, since he came to United in January 2020, he's had the best year anyway. I have noticed recently you've accepted Tony as a bench player, even though he hasn't been as a clinical in front of goal. He provides a lot to the team, says HJ. Yeah, I can't deny it. If Ollie goes, Mark, who would you take as manager, says Josh? Well, I'm not thinking like that, Josh. I'm not thinking like that at all. I don't know. Oh, a long distance shot there from, I think it was Zuma. No, it was Rudiger. And he's a long way out. Ridiculous. shoot from there. Absolutely ridiculous. He's about 40 yards out. Bob Messi says, Mark, are you the kind of guy to put water after, before, or before you put toothpaste on, or both? I think I just put it on before, then the toothpaste, then I just crack on. I'm happy. I don't need to put water on it again. Interesting question. Who's the most underrated player in the Premier League, says Roy Nugent? It's a very hard question to answer that, Roy, because I don't think you can give a definitive on an underrated player, because if everybody agreed, they wouldn't be underrated, would they? So I'd put people like Kovacic, Son, Wijnaldum, Rodri at Man City. You know, the key players that don't get the limelight, really. I don't think Ruben Diaz is underrated, millionaire. I think people really do appreciate what he's done for City this year. Thanks for the consistency in your content, Mark. What's your favourite United shirt ever? Mine is the 98 to 2000 home shirt, says Liam J. Yeah, I've said mine. I think it was 92, 93 away kit, Man United. Blue, paint splash. I even had them in little Sabutio men as well. I think I still might have some of them somewhere as well. Used to love me old Sabutio. Basically, it was a crap version of FIFA where you didn't have a computer. You ironed during pitch and you had these little men that you flicked around. But that was what you used to do in my day. When are you going to play in Football Manager, says Aziz? Well, maybe that's not far off on Twitch. We'll see. You forced it out of me. What team would you want me to do? Because when I play Football Manager, I love doing the... I just find... Not with FIFA, but with Football Manager, I find it so much more enjoyable when you start off with a lower league club. I just think it's so... I used to do it with Championship Manager as well. I just find it so much more enjoyable when you start off with a lower league club on Football Manager. Could take Notts County back to the top, oldest club in football history, and I think they're not in the league anymore, are they? So Notts County would be a good one. And it's the city I'm born in. Give some... Goldbridge, give back. Give back Bridge. Yeah. I'm never going to do Derby. Lauren says, Mark enjoyed flicking his man when he was younger. Men? He sounds even worse. We're talking about Sabutio there, by the way. We're not talking about anything else. But, you know, I do get the joke. Fair play. Bertino says, what's your thoughts on West Ham so far this season? Fantastic. Really, really pleased that you've got Lingard. Exactly the move that Lingard needed. I hope that he uses it and keeps playing well. And I think he will then hopefully move on for 15, 20 million and rebuild his career out. I think Lingard has done exactly the right thing. And at that level, I think he's a good player. But as for West Ham, really, really good. The only thing I would say about West Ham is that I was disappointed with them when they played against us in the Cup and when you played against Liverpool as well. I've not actually seen West Ham play that well, to be honest. Because every time I watch them, it tends to be a big game and they play quite defensive. Like West Ham Spurs tomorrow, I think it's going to be a shit game. I really do. Spurs play defensive and I think Moyes will play defensive as well. So I don't think that's going to be a good game. So I haven't really seen West Ham play that well many times. Lovely ball here. He's got to score. Mina. He scores! Oh, what a ball by Nathan Redmond and Mina Mino. Not Yerry Mina. I don't know why I thought Yerry Mina was running through on goal for Southampton. Imagine that. He's injured as well. Yerry Mina. He's through one-on-one. What's going on? It's Mina Mino. It's Mina Mino for Southampton. And it's 1-0. And it's a delightful ball by Redmond. Absolutely superb. Mina Mino. What a goal this is. Lovely bit of play. Look, watch the ball by Redmond. Oh, what a pass. What a pass by Redmond. Superb. And it's 1-0. Southampton haven't really done anything, but look at that pass by Redmond. He's got to be happy with that. And then Minamino does really well. He doesn't panic. He puts them all on the ground as well. He's like, sit down Mendy, sit down Azpilicueta, and then passes it in. Absolutely fantastic goal by Southampton. And sort of against the run of play, but they've not really been tested by Chelsea. Chelsea have dominated the ball. Southampton have done very little. Hassenhult's very, very happy. You can't argue with that. you cannot argue with that. Deserved goal. Great pass by Redmond. Brilliant finish by Minamino. Chelsea with a challenge on now, 35 minutes in. Exactly the sort of goal you want in this game as well. You want Southampton to score unless you're a Chelsea fan, just to make it more interesting. So, lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Game on, everybody. Game on. Stretch mark, says Camel. Well, we've got a good game on our hand now. I'm enjoying the stream anyway because the questions and chat's brilliant as ever. But, you want the game sometimes to kick off. And it has. Oh, God, that was bad on my back. Ooh. Yeah, we are doing Liverpool-Everton watch along as well. So make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We'll be back live at 5 after this game tonight. Looking forward to it. But is Tuchel looking at his first loss? Well, there's a long way to go yet, and Chelsea have had a lot of the ball, but there's not been many chances on goal. One shot on target for Chelsea, one shot on target for Southampton. So, cancelling each other out a little bit. Chelsea having more of the ball, but can't finish at the moment. But it's a lovely goal by Southampton. You very rarely get clean goals like that, where it was a good movement by Southampton. Lovely ball by Redmond. Took 3 Chelsea defenders out. And then Minamino just didn't panic. And again, we were talking about West Ham season and how Lingard's done fantastically well at West Ham. Minamino could be exactly the same for Southampton from Liverpool. Liverpool can't give him game time. Man United can't give Lingard game time. But they've both gone on loan to clubs that can give them game time. And they could really make a big difference for them. Good run by Romo here against his old club. Mr. Horace says the touch was class from Minamino. What about a Sunderland career mode on Football Manager, says Bradley? I'll tell you what, I can't talk about Football Manager too much because I start getting excited. It's the little kid inside me that don't. And it's just absolutely... I used to play Championship Manager when I was like 10. And I love it. So I do love Football Manager. So hot take, but I always thought if Gascoigne didn't have his drinking problem and stayed in the Prem, he would be in the conversation with Lampard and Scholes, says Pantman V8. I'd say it's a cold take, really, because it's... Gascoigne, to me, was better than Lampard and Scholes anyway. Like, if you're old enough, you know that already. Gascoigne and Rooney are the 2 best English talents I've seen in my lifetime. So Gascoigne was a world-class player anyway. Not for very long, but he was. And obviously injury ruined that. So I think Gascoigne was a... You've got to have seen Gascoigne to know how good he was. Like, he'd pick the ball up in the midfield and run past 4 players. Like, just a very different player to a Lampard or a Scholes anyway. But if Southampton can get to half-time here, it'd be fantastic. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. And I think Chelsea need to slow down a bit, says Sean Walsh. They're not really causing Chelsea any problems at the moment. Southampton any problems. Mark, can you wish my dad, Dave, a speedy recovery, says Liam Pinney. Speedy recovery, Dave. We have no more details on what's wrong with Dave. But speedy recovery, Dave. And... guys, what's Football Manager? Says Mohammed. Oh, God. He doesn't know. Anyway, free kick to Chelsea here. They would like a goal before half-time. Oh, they would. What do you think about Kante's performance? I don't think it's bad, but it ain't prime Kante, is it? This is what I keep saying. He's still a very good midfielder, but it ain't prime Kante. No. Apparently Bruno knows about you, Mark, says Abhishek. How would anybody even know that? So, I'd love it if he does, because I love Bruno, but I don't think he does. Who do you want to win in the Merseyside derby, says Max Fitzsimmons. I would love a draw. From a Manchester United point of view, I would love a draw. Sean Dyche says, the only daddy that matters is me. Actually, there is somebody in the live comments saying that as well. Cross comes in. This should be 1-1. Oh, what a save by the keeper. And I don't know whether he was offside anyway. Kurt Zuma. Cross came in. There's a big line of Chelsea players. I think he was... Oh, he would have been offside. He would have been offside. And it was heading wide anyway. It would have been just offside, and but the keeper makes a save as well. But 1-0 here, bit of a shock, but Southampton deserve to be 1-0 up. Not really on the possession, but the chances created by Chelsea have been few and far between. Lovely run by Kovacic, and he's gone down injured there. He's been caught by Danny Ings. I think he's going to get up though. But just a very, very good goal by Southampton. And Chelsea are going to have to up the game a little bit here. They might have to bring Giroud on. Oh, no, Southampton clear it. What Chelsea do need to be careful of is the sucker punch on the way on the break from now on. But 5 minutes to go to half time. We will play either or at half time. I love playing either or. Mark, you should do a biscuit review on your personal channel. Rate them on taste, texture, and most importantly, dunkability. Oh, I like the idea of that, Joshua Bowater. I do like food. Should Spurs sell Kane and Son and start a rebuild, says LG7. Why sell your two best players to start a rebuild when you could just start the rebuild with the two players that you've got that are the best two players that you've got? You know what I'm saying? Well, it's a good game. I'm glad I've done this as a watch along because it's a good game. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. We're only 50 away from 327,500. We're going to try and get up to 328 today across both streams. So bottom right hand corner to subscribe. Everybody's welcome on here. We do FIFA. We do a lot of watch alongs. Over the next few days, we're definitely doing the Liverpool Everton game at 5:30 today. And we're definitely doing Chelsea against Atletico midweek Champions League game. So... and maybe doing one tomorrow. I've not decided yet because I've got to do United Newcastle on Sunday night. So it's all about tiredness. It can be quite tiring. But bottom right hand corner to subscribe. Thanks for getting involved, everybody. You're all welcome as ever. And Mark, we've done the biscuit review from Joshua Bowater. Could you do a starting 11 for England at half time, says Tom Boone. If you remind me, I will do it, yeah. Has Anfield Agenda paid you for copying your style, says Brooksy. I can confirm I've never had any payment from Craig or Connor at Anfield Agenda, but they are good lads. Why aren't you verified, Mark? Please notice this. I don't know, Ahmed. I've got no idea. Here's Kante, got a bit of space. Heavy first touch. Good tackle. And he's hurt himself there, didn't a pro? In a 50-50 with Kante. Ooh, I tell you what, it's a bit nasty by Kante. I don't think Kante's the sort of player, but nah, he has hurt him, but he's gone for the ball, I think. Why does Dr. Pepper come in a bottle? His wife's dead, says Dylan Henderson. Why does Dr. Pepper come in a bottle? Oh, I get it now. Slow sports news with Goldbridge there. Why does Dr. Pepper come in a bottle? Because his wife's dead. There we go. Ba-dum-dum-tsh. Do tier lists on your best sweets, takeaway, sports, movies, drinks. I do like doing tier lists, actually. It was something I was planning on doing last year, and because of lockdown, I just didn't do it. I don't think there's a red card review for Kante here. I personally don't think this is even a yellow card. Nah. They're not even reviewing it as a red card. There's nothing in that. It's just one of those things that happens in a game of football. Opinions on Pulisic, says Jake Sullivan. Not on the bench, is he? So I presume it's... I presume he's injured again, Pulisic. I mean, that was what I was going to say. I think the thing with Pulisic for me is he's injured a lot. And that is an issue that... I believe he had that problem at Dortmund a bit as well. Are you going to do... Jordan Such says, are you going to do West Ham Spurs tomorrow? And thank you for the contribution, Joshua Bell. I'm more likely to do Villa West Ham tomorrow than do West Ham Spurs, to be honest. I think that would be the better game. I think West Ham Spurs is going to be quite a boring game. So make sure you watch it, because I thought Everton Spurs was going to be boring and it was 5-4. So, but no, I do think that'll be quite tight. It's a good opportunity for West Ham, though. Got to say, it is a very good opportunity for West Ham. What's going on here? Never does that. Lovely finish by Minamino, though. Really, really good. Chelsea fans, I don't know whether we've got any in the live comments. It's one of those, isn't it? You know, you come out second half, you win, you get a couple of goals and you win 2-1 and you're very happy with the performance. I don't think Chelsea have done a lot wrong, but they haven't created enough. Which is something wrong at the end of the day. But they haven't created enough chances. But they have had a lot of the ball. It's an interesting one, isn't it? There will, you know, look. I watched this Chelsea team today, and I think if this was up against United, I'd quite fancy us having an equal game. But when I've watched Chelsea in the last couple of weeks, I've been like, I think this game that Chelsea have got against Atletico Madrid midweek is huge. It's going to be really interesting because Atletico Madrid are top of La Liga. But then again, Real Sociedad are fifth, and United wiped the floor with them. So I'm interested. I think Chelsea have got a good chance against Atletico Madrid on. I think is it Tuesday night. I think Dinner Pro is going to have to come off. He's really hurt his ankle here. But yeah, I think Chelsea probably be interesting to see what happens. I mean, no Hudson-Odoi, no party, says Aaron Allen. They're definitely missing a bit of something in the final third. West Ham Tottenham score prediction. Could be 0-0, 1-1. I think it'll be a draw. I think it's going to be a good game, Chelsea and Atletico Madrid on Tuesday. Doing a watch along for that, so make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. When you can do a porn watch along, says Ozzy. Well, I'd have to watch porn to do that, wouldn't I? I don't watch it, so how can I do a watch along? Hi Mark, I'm a Swansea fan, but love your content on all your channels, says Sam Parkinson. Thanks, Sam. Hope you're doing well. Just imagine if Southampton won 9-0. I mean, 9-0 is a rarity, isn't it? Really. Even if you go down to 10 men, you shouldn't be conceding 9. You just park the bus, don't you? Who do you think's going to win the league? Says the league. I think it's going to be Man City. Tammy Abraham in the box. Wanted a penalty, not going to get it. Anthony Taylor said he saw the ball move. Chelsea. We've got 3 minutes added on here. The last Tottenham-West Ham game was 3-3, says Malachi. Was that when Tottenham were winning 3-1? And Big Boris says, my granddad in New Zealand watches you all the time. Big up New Zealand. And big up from Sydney, says Tom Jackson. Big up Sydney. The person and the place in Australia. Would you ever play Rocket League, Mark? Says Harry Civils. I am going to start playing Rocket League. I don't know whether I'd stream it, but I saw somebody talking about Rocket League the other day and I was like, I do like that game. I just want to find it and play it again just for a bit of a laugh. It's a game that just stands the test of time, Rocket League, doesn't it? Because they haven't done Rocket League 2. They just keep doing... It's a bit like Grand Theft Auto, isn't it? They just keep doing updates for it. Good tackle by Ward-Prowse. Into Minamino. Southampton on a rare attack here. And it goes out for a throw-in anyway. Daniel Luciano, what movie scared you so much that you sometimes think about it? That game you played during the all-day charity video is up there for me. I think we're at half-time. We are at half-time. Let's stop the clock. So it is 1-0 at half-time, and we've got a very interesting second half to come. Very interesting second half to come. Very good goal from Southampton. Well deserved in that sense. Chelsea have not done enough in the final third. If I was Tuchel at half time, I'd be probably making changes. I'd be telling Hudson-Odoi to warm up. I might even tell Giroud to warm up. They're not doing anything up front, and I think there might have to be a different approach, and maybe the target man of Giroud allows them to put more crosses into the box. When do you expect us to come out of lockdown, says Jordan Such? I'll answer that in a minute. Southampton, I think, defended well. Not really created anything apart from the goal. They just need to stay organised and maybe hit them on the break a little bit more. When do I think we're going to come out of lockdown? I've got no idea at all. I wish I did. Let's have a little stretch for a minute. I wish I did have a chance to tell you when we're going to come out of lockdown. But I've got no idea. You know, we could be carry on like this for another month. We could be like, let's get schools back in 2 months. I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But as somebody who has a birthday in April, I imagine I'm going to be one of those unlucky people who has another birthday in lockdown. So, yeah. Let's see what happens with that. I'm going to have to start being like the Queen and having a couple of birthdays. England 11. For me, Pope in goal. Trent right back. Luke Shaw left back. Centre-backs are... Well, Joe Gomez is injured, isn't he? So he's out of the equation. Centre-backs, at the moment, I would go John Stones and probably Harry Maguire. I'd just go with the back four. Midfield pivot, I'd play a 4-2-3-1. My midfield pivot would definitely be Declan Rice and probably Henderson. Although I'd want... No, I wouldn't do that. I want some creativity in the middle. I'd probably go Declan Rice and... It's hard. Who's a really good box-to-box English player? I mean, we've got lots of players like Mason Mount, Jack Grealish, Maddison... Foden, but I wouldn't put Maguire ahead of Mings. I wouldn't put Grealish in a box-to-box role. I mean, Bellingham's a good shout. I quite like Bellingham. I think Phillips and Rice is too defensive. You could do that. You could go Rice and Phillips. You could go Rice and Henderson. But I'd like somebody who's a little bit more box-to-box. Ward-Prowse wouldn't be bad, actually, but he will never do it. So I'd agree with you on that. Rashford plays off the left. Sancho plays off the right. Kane plays up through the middle. Number 10 is either Foden or Grealish for me. And Sancho, Sterling's on the bench. I'd go Sancho, Rashford, Kane, front three. Foden in behind. And then I'd want Rice and a box-to-box player. Ward-Prowse might be worth a look, to be fair. But there's a lot of things. I mean, a lot of people saying about Sterling, and also Xhaka's a good player as well. I mean, there's some real quality. You know, Grealish would be on the bench in that as well. So we've got a lot of quality in certain areas, England. But the problem England have got is at centre back and CDM. You can't just play Phillips and Rice for me. It's too defensive. So Bellingham could be interesting. Could you call my girlfriend a divvy? Says Joshua Bell. You're probably going to get something for that now. Not something good. Mark, have thoughts of doing a gaming channel? I'd love to watch you on Red Dead Redemption, Destruction All Stars and COD, says Robert Cooper. I do have a channel on Twitch called Goldbridge TV, and I am going to start doing stuff on there. Trim's looking nice. What's your body count? Says Dan. Defo Sterling over Rashford and Defo not Sancho, says Ethan Lucas. Well, Defo not Sterling over Rashford and Defo Sancho. You know what that's called? Opinion. Sterling on the bench shows Mark knows nothing about football, says Nick Saunders. It shows nothing of the sort. It shows that I have an opinion that I stick by. And if you disagree with it, then great, that you are very passionate about having your opinion. But I disagree with it. Welcome to the real world. Maddison or Mount as box-to-box. I mean, I'd probably plump for Ward-Prowse because that's what he does. He plays in a midfield two. He doesn't even play behind in a midfield three. Greenwood would be on the bench as well for me, yeah. Sancho is back to his best, says Akshat. And is this the most talented English team, Mark, says Zahal? No. The most talented English team was the one that we had in 2002 that Ericsson ruined. But yeah, let's start playing either or anyway. I like this. Mark, do an 11 of players from outside top six, but only one player from each club. Bob, I'd need a piece of paper to do that, and I'm not willing to go and get a piece of paper to do it. Pope doesn't hold much. Yeah, but he can't be Pickford, and I don't think Henderson plays enough. So that's why I've plumped for Pope. Prime Lewandowski or Prime Suarez. I'm always going to go Lewandowski because I don't like Suarez. 4-3-3, says Joel Corbin. Pope, James, Maguire, Stones, Shaw. Rice, Foden, Grealish, Rashford, Kane, Sancho. I do like that team. But I don't think Foden and Grealish can do the box-to-box role. I don't think they're disciplined enough. Don't think that's what they're all about. Best forwards this year: Bruno, Salah, Kane, Son. Agree, says Jurgen's Red. Yes, I do. Chicken burger or beef burger? Says Turtle. Well, I think everyone's going to go beef burger, but I do like a chicken burger if it's got avocado, tomato, lettuce. It's very nice with a bit of mayo on it. Very, very nice. Can't beat it. And I want one now. Do you think Chelsea will come back to win? They look toothless up front, says Robert Ellison. I think he's going to have to make changes. I think he's going to have to get Hudson-Odoi on and maybe Giroud. They're not creating enough. Werner's having a quiet game. So I think Tuchel's going to have to make changes in this game. Yeah, definitely. Mino is a little dancer, says Harry Noons. He's looked really good. Really good. Very, very calm. Quality player. And as I said in the first half, very much reminds me of what's happened with Lingard and Man United. You can't give him game time. You send him to West Ham and he looks really good. Mino, you can't give him game time. You send him to Southampton, he looks really good. So, yeah. But having said that, they've not really created much, Southampton. They've just been very hard-working and well-organised. And look, they're looking at 7 losses in a row. Southampton can't afford to lose this game from this position. So Chelsea are going to have to come out really strong second half. Fernandes or De Bruyne, says Idris. Well, I'm going to be biased. Yeah, of course I am. Derby or Forest, says Martin. Well, I'm from Nottingham. I'm not going to pick Derby, am I? And do you think Southgate will keep playing 5-2-3 in the areas? Well, that's the thing, Matthew Holmes. I think if you pick your best England 11, I'll guarantee over 90% of you are going to start with a back 4. Southgate won't start with a back 4, so that loses you an attacker straight away. This is what frustrates me about a back 5. I hated Ollie doing it because it's not that I don't like a back 5. I don't, but it's that when you play a back 5, you lose an attacker. It's logical, isn't it? You play a back 4, that means you can play a front 3 and a midfield 2. 4-3-3, isn't it? So, but you play a back 5, you've got to lose an attacker. You play a back 5 and 2 holding midfielders. That means he can only have 4 attackers and 7 defenders, and that's what he's going to do. I don't have a problem with Gareth Southgate per se, but I do have a problem with him as the England manager because he's just ultra defensive. I can't stand it. You gain an attacker because of wing backs. Well, I disagree, Mohamed. I don't think Trent Alexander-Arnold and Luke Shaw are Jadon Sancho and Raheem Sterling, are they? They're not. Or Marcus Rashford. They're not attackers. They're fullbacks. They're not attackers. So the system, it provides you width with wing backs. They're still fullbacks. And when you play France, you're playing with a back 5. So, you play a back 5 against Moldova, all right, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Chilwell or whoever's at left back become wingers, but they're still bloody fullbacks. If you had to have a current Liverpool player at Man United, who would you get, says Joe Games? Fabinho or Van Dijk, because Man United need a centre-back or a centre defensive midfielder, and if we had those, I'd probably take Salah on the right wing. Do you think Dan James needs to go to a smaller club so he gets more game time? Says Charlie McHale. I think he needs to go to a smaller club because his game doesn't suit a top 4 club, because he's absolutely redundant against a low block. And he's, the best and arguably only good attribute Dan James has is running into space. Well, you don't get a lot of space to run into with a top 4 club because most teams will play deep against the top 4 clubs. So Dan James should be playing for somebody like Newcastle or Fulham or West Brom or someone like that. Stone Cold Steve Austin or John Cena? I'd say Cena for me, BA. And cricket or rugby, says A1. I do like the rugby, but that's because it's being played at the moment. Ketchup or mayonnaise? Probably more of a mayonnaise man, Mohammed, to be honest with you now, over the years. Jay Rigby says, sorry Mark, but Sterling is class above Rashford, better with the ball, more creative, better IQ, faster. You don't need to apologise, mate. It's your opinion. I disagree. I would rather have Rashford than Sterling. I would, and that's the genuine truth. I would rather have Marcus Rashford than Raheem Sterling. I think, and especially in an England shirt. I think Sterling's a very good player in a Pep Guardiola system. I don't think he's very good at it for England. Would you take, and we're talking about an England 11, I'd rather have Rashford over Sterling. I'm happy with that. I might be in the minority, but I would. Would you take Phillips or Rafinha from Leeds, says Connor? I'd probably take them both, to be honest, but the Leeds thing's a problem. Would you rather be a reserve player for United, 6 games, or a club legend at another club of your choosing, says Daniel Luciano? I'd rather be a club legend at a different club. And I've said this before, and I know, again, I might be in the minority again, but if you're saying I can be a reserve player for Manchester United, the club I support, but only play 6 games, or I can play every game and be a club legend at Everton. I don't support Everton, but I'd rather play every game and be a legend somewhere. John Terry's a Man United fan. He's a Chelsea legend. You know, Carragher grew up as an Everton fan. Liverpool legend. Ultimately, I've got no problem with any footballer who goes and gets what they can as a footballer. Of course, my dream would have been to play for Man United and be a legend, but if you're telling me I can't have that, but I can have it elsewhere and play regularly, I want to play football, which is exactly what Lingard's done. You know, Lingard's a Man United fan. He wants to be a Man United player, but he can't. He'd be a bench player, so he's chosen to go to West Ham. I respect that. That's what Dan James should do. I respect people who put their career before who they support, because that team's always going to be there for you to support when you retire. But once you've retired, you can't go back and play. So, you know, you've got to go and get what you can out of your career, haven't you? Milano derby tomorrow, Zlatan versus Lukaku, says Elias. Round 2, yeah. Thoughts on Southampton manager, and you think he'll be a Spurs manager after Jose? If not, who else, says Yazza. I got a feeling Nagelsmann's going to end up at Spurs next. Don't know what. Mark, the right man to investigate into United not getting a director of football would be Gareth Keegan. He would figure it out, says Jurgen Reds. Gareth Keegan investigates. And good question from Daniel Luciano. What did you think of Messi coming to Man City? He's not, though, is he? FBB. I think there's a lot of conflicting stories about Messi coming to Manchester City, but the one I would take most note of at the moment was what Simon Stone put out yesterday, BBC's correspondent for Manchester clubs. And he said that Man City have not been are not in for Messi at the moment, and they don't intend to be. So I don't think that if you know, before yesterday, I would have thought, yeah, they're going to go for him. I said it on this show on Wednesday night, didn't I? But as where we are at the moment, I don't think they are. Which American sport do you like the most to watch? Says Ian Coit. I really enjoyed the Super Bowl. I've got to be honest. I really did enjoy it. It's the first time I've watched a full American football game in a long time. I normally just dip in and out. But ice hockey, I like ice hockey. Haaland is born in Leeds. Could he play for England? Says Jenks1102. No, because he's already played for Holland, Norway. So no, he could have done, but he can't now. Phil Foden get the Young Player of the Year, says Curry H. I mean, I've been very impressed with Phil Foden. Very impressed with him. What a player. And what I do like about Pep, I don't like Pep and what he's done at Man City, because it's just all about turning the oil tap on. It doesn't feel real, feels a bit fake because they don't really have the fan base to support what they're doing. But, you know, he's a great manager. But what I do like about Pep is I like it when he improves English players, because, you know, Man City are an English club. The Premier League is an English league. So, you know, he did improve Sterling from what Sterling was at Liverpool. And he's brought this young player in Foden through, and you know, he's one of the best players in the league at the moment. So it's exciting what he's done with Foden. And, you know, I'd say Foden's probably the most exciting youngster in England this season, because he's been that good. And that's taking nothing away from Greenwood. I think Greenwood can be anything he wants to be. But, you know, let's be honest, Foden's had the better season so far. And that's the challenge, isn't it? You know, Foden and Greenwood are really good friends, and, you know, they play at rival clubs. And hopefully that can spur Greenwood on to get, you know, up to that level as well. Villa versus Leicester prediction, says Sam. Well, as I said at the start of the stream, I think it's a really interesting few days, couple of days over the weekend, because you've got, if you look at the top of the Premier League at the moment, well, don't look at the top. If you look at second place at the moment, you've got Man United and Leicester on the same points. Then you've got fourth and fifth, Chelsea and West Ham on the same points, 4 points off second and third. And then you've got Spurs, Liverpool, Everton not far off that either. So Tammy Abraham's come off, Hudson-Odoi's come on, so that's a good move from Chelsea. But look, if Chelsea don't win today and Man United beat Newcastle, they open up a gap on second and fourth. If Liverpool and Everton draw and Man United win, then that gap opens up again on those teams. If Man United lose but Liverpool and Chelsea win, that gap gets really short. And obviously Spurs, West Ham, they both want to be in the race for top four. Everton, Liverpool, they both want to be in the race for top four. Villa and Leicester, they both want to be in the race for top four. But I think because Leicester played on Thursday night, because Spurs played on Thursday night, United played on Thursday night, I wouldn't be surprised if Leicester drop points against Villa, and Spurs drop points against West Ham. And maybe United against Newcastle, because you just never know with United. We should win that, but you just don't know. And I do think Thursday, Sunday football is going to be a problem. Second half has kicked off here. There has been a change. Hudson-Odoi is on for Tammy Abraham. So Werner will go through the middle, and Mount and Hudson-Odoi will play in behind. But Southampton 1-0 up, deserve to be 1-0 up, but you would expect to see a lot more from Chelsea second half. Chance for Bertrand to whip a cross in, and he wins a throw-in. Cancelo or Wan-Bissaka, says Harry. Well, definitely. It's definitely Cancelo, isn't it, this season? You know, there's bias and there's, you know, reality. Hi, Mark. Predictions for Liverpool, Everton. I think 3-2 to Everton, says Bobby McDonald. I think Liverpool are going to win that. It's at Anfield. I think Liverpool are going to win. And they need to win. Liverpool need to win. But Liverpool looked a lot better against Leipzig on Tuesday. And Everton, to me, looked like they're running out of gas. So, is Calvert-Lewin back fit? That's the thing, isn't it? They'd missed Calvert-Lewin against Man City. Chips or wedges, says Bob Messi. I'm starving now. Can't wait for this. Don't know what to have for my lunch. Might have a big bowl of porridge. Fills you up. Or I might have a chip sandwich. That would definitely be better. Definitely better. Fatal Generation says, if you watch the Dan James goal back, he meant to pass it. I don't think he did he? Give him a fair. Give him a fair. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. Got nearly 10,000 people watching. Get involved with the channel. Everybody's welcome here. We are doing Everton, Liverpool at 5:30. That's a great ball into Alonso. He looked like he could have been offside to me. Werner. They're queuing up here. Hudson-Odoi gets it wide. Reece James. Carlo and Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Alan are available to start, says Luke Grady. Well, that's a big boost for having Alan back. He's been out for bloody ages. I forgot about him. He's a big player for Everton to get back, isn't he? I mean, how many months has Alan been out for Everton? I mean, that's a very, very big player to get back. Haven't watched WandaVision, Man United 18. No, I'm not really into Marvel, so I don't know. I mean, it's meant to be very good. And when I say I'm not into Marvel, I've just never watched it. I've never taken the time to sort of invest in watching it and, you know, all the films. Do you think Werner will get back into form since Infinite Gaming? Well, to be fair to him, to be fair to him today, he's not really had any service. There's not been much service out there. But it goes back to the question in the first half that I didn't get to answer about Tammy Abraham. What do you think about Tammy Abraham? I think he's a good striker. I don't think he's... I was tempted to say he's an Everton striker, but he ain't better than Calvert-Lewin. So I don't know what sort of striker Tammy Abraham is. I mean, you stick him in the Championship, he'll score you 30 goals. Stick him in the Premier League, and I don't think he's a top 4 striker. I really don't. I think he'd be a good striker for someone like Newcastle. I think he'd get you 20 goals, 15, 20 goals for Newcastle if you played him every week. But I don't think he's a top 6 striker, to be honest with you. But not everybody can be. I don't think that's a bad thing. Would he do well at Wolves? I don't know. I think he'd have more of a case of being a lead striker, a Wolves striker, than he would be a top 6 player. Would he do well for Southampton? Yeah, but I mean, they wouldn't drop Ings for him, would they? Up front with Ings, maybe. I don't know whether he'd work well in the front too, Tammy Abraham. I think he is a number 9 on his own sort of thing. Charlie McHale says, Phil Foden's got the same skill as Messi, naturally gifted, but obviously not as good as Messi. I don't agree, Charlie. I do agree with what you're saying. He's got very good ability, but I don't see a similar style between Foden and Messi. You know, Messi's a very different player in my eye, or was. Would you do a Birmingham football career mode, says James? I think all options are on the table for when I do Football Manager. And I'm very excited. That's probably the first thing I'm going to do next. Amongst many things people want me to do. But I will drop the link in the video description for my Twitch page for the Everton game. And then you can start following me on there, because that's where I'm going to start doing all of this. Werner's in the box. That's the lack of confidence there from Werner. He's shooting from a silly angle when he should be putting the cross in. Gets it in a good situation on the left-hand side. Attacks the box, which is exactly what you want him to do. But shoots into the side netting when he should have crossed. Yazza said, if I was a director of football, I would buy Sancho, loan out Ahmed to Dortmund, buy Koundé and loan Axel with an option to buy, and swap Pogba for Casemiro and Kroos with Madrid. I'm not sure all those clubs would be happy doing that, by the way. I'm not sure Sevilla would take Twansebi. Who do you think is the most promising young British manager at the moment, says David Hill? Gerrard is the easiest answer. Lampard was, but nice little ball over the top by Kovacic, headed away. Didn't Scholes go back into management? I know he was at Oldham, but didn't he take another job? Sure, Scott. I must have dreamt it. Didn't Scholes take a job recently? Scott Parker's doing very well, actually. Good shout by Amanav. I'm sure Paul Scholes took a job. Wasn't at Salford, was it? Here we go. Reece James, good cross. He was at Salford for a few games as Ian Reid. Thanks. Do you think Brendan Rodgers... Penalty to Chelsea! Do you think Brendan Rodgers is the best British manager at the moment? Says Road to Dawn. Probably. But we've got a penalty to Chelsea here. Foul on Mason Mount. Oh, it's a nasty tackle by Danny Ings. It's not going to get overturned. I'm just wondering whether he gets the ball. Nah, doesn't get the ball. And it's going to be Mason Mount to make it 1-1. Wow, I might be being a bit presumptuous here. Wins the penalty. Exactly what Chelsea need. And he does calmly put it in. And it's exactly what Chelsea need. I mean, look, it's a penalty. Welcome to That's Football. It is a penalty. And this is what I said in the first half. If you're a Chelsea fan, really struggled to break them down. Stupid foul by Danny Ings. Very, very silly. But it is a penalty and Chelsea get back in the game because of it. And all that work that Southampton have done, and they've created next to nothing apart from the goal, now gives Chelsea 35 minutes to come away with a very, very good win. And I think that's the way we're heading, isn't it? You can't be putting in silly tackles like that. He doesn't even need to I don't know why Danny Ings even does that. Is he looking for a move to Chelsea or something? Because why slide tackle like that in the box? Just stay on your feet. But Chelsea now very much the favourites. And as I said, the performance from Chelsea will not be a bad one if they win. They have had a lot of the ball. So Mason Mount makes it 1-1 from a penalty that he won himself. And as I said, watch that back. I don't know what Danny Ings is doing, sliding in like that. Really silly. Mitch says Scott Parker, future England manager. Jorginho there would have took the penalty normally, wouldn't he? Paul has gone to David Beckham's team in America, says Nathan Taylor. No, that's Phil Neville. Phil Neville's gone to that, not Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes ain't doing anything with that. Where do you think Chelsea will finish this season, says Tom Morgan? I think at the moment they've got so much momentum that they could catch United. Here's Danny Ings. Poor ball. He's not looked at the races, has he, Danny Ings, for the last few weeks? He's not the player he was. Don't know what's gone wrong with him. What do you think of the idea that whoever wins the penalty shoots the penalty, says Ali? Well, it's the sort of rule you'd have at a disco, isn't it? It's not the sort of thing you should have in football, you know. Specialist penalty takers should take the penalty, I think. Fitness, says Kieran, in relation to Danny Ings. So Chelsea with about 35 minutes, like I say, to find the winner. And I think the way the game's going, you'd fancy them to do that. Another mistake at the back. Mason Mount wins a free kick right on the edge of the box. Referee plays it on and he goes back. Ward-Prowse with the foul. Good free kick position here as well. Get up, Mason. You might want to take the free kick. Poor defence by Southampton. This is the thing with Southampton, isn't it? Their heads drop when things go against them. Yeah, definite foul by Ward-Prowse. Funny enough, ironically, it's in exactly the sort of position where Ward-Prowse would like to get a free kick. Who do you support in a match between Italy and England? I'm not Italian Arsenal one, so I support England. And Mark, there should have been 2 red cards for Werner and Kante. Proof that VAR is terrible, says Charlie Bowyer. No, I don't think... Well, the Kante one wasn't a red card as far as I was concerned. The Werner one, they didn't really show it again. So I can't really comment on that one. Mount could score this, says Steve Ivy. Yep. Mark, do you think Prem teams should look towards the SPL for talent? Tierney, Robertson, Van Dijk and Moussa Dembele, just some examples. I'm the Walrus. Well, they used to look to the Premier League, the Scottish League, for a lot of talent not too long ago. So, you know, if there is an increase in talent coming through, then good job. Well done. I think Reece James is going to hit the free kick. Mason Mount's over it. Alonso's over it. You've got to get this up and over into the top corner. Here we go. Alonso hits it straight into the wall. I am doing a watch along for the Liverpool game, Lewis. Yes, so please subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Who scored for Chelsea, says MMO. It was a penalty. Mason Mount won the penalty. Foul by Danny Ings in the box, obviously. And Mason Mount dispatched it. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're on the road to 328k today. And everybody is welcome. This channel is not club specific. We do lots of different watch alongs. Liverpool Everton is at 5:30. We are doing Chelsea Atletico Madrid in the Champions League midweek as well. And potentially tomorrow I might do Villa Leicester. We'll see how we get on. Because I've got to do United Newcastle on the United stand tomorrow. But Everton are so bad, says Jamie. I don't do career mode on the weekends even. No, so it's back on Monday. About 3:45 on Monday. We'll have career mode back. Need a bit of a break. It was a bit of a challenging week. 8-point gap in the final season. Worried about that. But yeah, Southampton have just not done anything, have they? I can't even remember Southampton having a corner. Have they had a corner? I can't remember them having a corner. But they've got a chance to break here. Danny Ings into Ward-Prowse. Slips it into Redmond, who just gets bullied off it by Zuma. Defended very well, Chelsea, apart from the goal, of course. Maddison or Grealish, says Joe. Definitely Grealish for me. Definitely Grealish for me. Please share the video if you're watching and smash a like on it. We've got nearly 10,000 tuning in, which is fantastic. Chilwell can't even start for Chelsea. Chilwell's in the fridge, chilling, because he ain't getting used, is he? £50 million. I always said that when Chelsea bought him. I said, I don't think he's a top 4 left back for a big club. Fair play what he was doing at Leicester, but defensively, he just ain't good enough. And it's interesting how, Tuchel would not have any preconceptions coming into Chelsea. He wouldn't go, oh yeah, Alonso's better than Chilwell. This is what he's seen in training, and he obviously doesn't trust Chilwell to do the job that Alonso's doing. What's your thoughts on Havertz, says Leo Murphy. There's a few players that have come into the Premier League this year that I thought would do really, really well, that for whatever reason haven't really adapted as quick as I thought. Werner, Ziyech, Havertz, Van der Beek. They're not all going to turn it around. I think some of them will become good players, but they're not all going to turn it around. And I just don't know what's going on with Havertz. Thoughts about Koulibaly? Do you think he would be a good fit for United? Says Sal. I think 3 years ago, yeah. I don't know whether I'd want him at 30. Mark, do you think playing Thursday will impact our performance tomorrow, says Jordan Such, or do you still expect us to beat Newcastle comfortably? Well, I don't think United beat many teams comfortably. I know we beat Sociedad 4-0 and Southampton 9-0, but we don't normally win comfortably. And I think that Thursday, as I said, I think Leicester against Villa is a big opportunity for Villa because Leicester played on Thursday night, and I think that the same with Spurs. But I don't know what 11s Leicester and Spurs put out in the Europa League. I'd have to double check on that one. I presume Spurs probably put quite a weakened team out because they've got such a good squad. But Chelsea on the attack here. They're going to have a lot of the ball. So I'm just going to have a quick look at that, actually. Let's just have a quick look at what teams they put out in those games there. So Leicester played on Thursday night. I know they drew 0-0. Slavia Prague. In Prague. And their lineup was... Schmeichel, Evans, Sionku, Tillemans, Ndidi, Maddison, Albrighton, Barnes, Vardy. Very strong team from Leicester in their game. So, yeah, they will be tired for that game against Villa. Obviously, people are taking it more seriously than I thought they would. 4-1 against RZ Pellets. And Spurs had Gareth Bale in the team. Let's have a look. Lloris, Alderweireld, Dyer, Sissoko, Winks, Ali, Bale, Lucas Moura, Son. So Kane didn't play. So, yeah, a bit of a mix there for Spurs. But Leicester certainly put a good team out. So you'd expect them to be tired for that game against Villa, certainly. So yeah, I do think that there's going to be some points dropped over the weekend by teams that played in the Europa League, definitely. Are Arsenal going to end City's unbeaten run? I think there's more chance of a pink pig flying past my window in a Arsenal kit than Arsenal winning at Man City. Against Man City. I don't know whether it's at Man City. I think Stones has to get in the English side for the Euros, Anton. He's having a very good season, yeah. And there is a Liverpool-Everton watch-along yet later on. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Do you think United can get Pulisic? He hardly plays, says Lebo. Well, he's always injured, isn't he? I don't think he doesn't play because of anything other than that. So Chelsea chasing the winner here. I think they'll get it. Where are Arsenal in the league anyway? You know, like you can play that Where's Wally? Find someone. Where's Arsenal? Oh, 10th. 34 points. And they've played a game more than everybody above them apart from Liverpool and West Ham. No. Arsenal aren't going to beat Man City. So after this game week, they'll be even further behind everybody else. And yeah, they're not in a race for top 4. The only race Arsenal are in is a Europa League race. Isn't it? Let's be honest. Do a Salford career mode, says Ewan Black. Is it a bit cliche to do a Salford career mode? I think I'd rather do Notts County. How did you find going on Jack Makes Happy Hour? Says yes, he really enjoyed it. Good lads on there. Good setup as well. Hi Mark, do you think there's still a chance of Rice coming to United, seeing as all the news has gone quiet on him? Says Spaceship. Well, I think it's gone quiet because I'm not 100% sure United are looking at a CDM. Do you think Ollie will do changes tomorrow? I'm worried about fatigue. I don't think that he can do Mikael Roach that much because, you know, hopefully Cavani's back. That would be useful. Luke Shaw will come back as well. England Euro expectations, says Shaka Phillips. I think England will get done over by a better team. Portugal, France. I'm not too sure how good Spain and Germany are this time. Haaland could end up at Chelsea in the summer. Who are Chelsea going to buy in the summer? Because they're not going to do nothing. You know, I know Lampard got backed ridiculously well last summer, but, you know, this is a new manager now. He will get backed. And Chelsea like to do big things. I could see Erling Haaland going to Chelsea because I can't see anybody else other than Chelsea having the money to go and do it. And no, I would get rid of Southgate as England manager. It's nothing personal. I just don't think he's good enough for the job. So another 10 minutes has gone. 25 minutes to go in this one. Still 1-1. Chelsea battling away. Still not creating loads and loads of chances, but they only need the one. I'll be amazed if he doesn't chuck Giroud on. City could get Haaland. Nah. Because City never spend... For all the money City spend, they never go and spend the 100 million, do they? They've never done that. They've always been around 50, 60. I think their biggest ever signing was 70, wasn't it? So if you're going to get Haaland this summer, you're going to have to spend 100 million at least. So I don't think City would do that. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. They will want a striker in the summer, though. Man City, because Aguero will go and Jesus ain't good enough. So they do need a number 9. It'd be interesting to see who they go for. He has got a release clause, Kieran, but it doesn't kick in until the next summer, not this summer. So there's this misconception that Haaland's release clause kicks in 2021. It's 2022. So, yeah. There's a very big chance that he will stay at Dortmund for another year and then the release clause will just cause a massive bidding war, which is what Raiola wants. I think Raiola would like Haaland to stay for another year because his release clause is 60 million, which means you're getting him for half the price. So Raiola can basically say, because, you know, everybody will say it. You know, it won't just be Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, City, PSG. Everybody will offer the release clause because it's a massive, massive bargain. What will then happen is the team they'll go to will be about agent fees, signing on fees and wages. So, corner. Southampton have won a corner here. So, Raiola might let Dortmund might try and sell Haaland in the summer if they get an offer for 100 million, but it's in Raiola's interest and Haaland's interest to wait a year because they're going to be quids in. Anyway, corner to Southampton here, 20 minutes to go. I am doing a watch along of Liverpool versus Everton. I almost feel it needs to go across the screen because I've been asked so many times now. Corner then, Ward-Prowse. He's got good ball delivery. Big players in the box for Southampton. Whipped in cross. Mendy catches it easily. All that. 69 minutes we've waited for that bloody cross. Go straight in keeper's hands. Who's better, Ziyech or Mahrez? Says Nathaniel. That's a very easy question to answer, isn't it? Because Ziyech has not arrived in the Premier League yet. I'd like to see Messi come into the Premier League, but... Oh, another corner. Chelsea a bit ragged at the back there. Rudiger can't keep it in. It's gone for a corner. See if we see a better cross now. Think I better dance now. Bit of Tom. Bit of Tom Jones. Get in there. Sounds more like Terry Wogan. Rest in peace. James Ward-Prowse with a cross for Southampton. He'll try to whip it in towards Bednarek. Think I better dance now. Huh. Come on then. Cross comes in. Ward-Prowse. Second corner for Southampton. Better cross. Back post. Redmond's there, but it's run past him. Got it over on the wing still. Oh, he's hit the bar. Inside netting. Oh, cross came in from Redmond. I think it was Vestergaard who got the head on it. And it heads it onto the bar. Good skills by Redmond. Oh, he was beaten. Mendy was beaten all hands up. And he's headed it onto the bar, Vestergaard there. Big chance there for Southampton. You feel if that goes in, Chelsea ain't winning today. Yeah, Redmond's had a good game. Got the assist on the first goal. Playing off Danny Ings. Not a bad idea to do that from Hasenhüttl, really. Allows you to play Minamino and Dinapro off the wings and then put Redmond as a sort of number 10. It's worked quite well. But they've had to live off scraps. They've had to live off scraps up front for Southampton. Yeah, I always think it's a good thing when Walcott's injured for Southampton because he's crap. I don't know why. Is he on loan from Everton? Because don't take him. I mean, he is. He's crap, Walcott. Every time I watch him, he's awful. Now Chelsea, he's got to be on. He's onside. Hudson-Odoi. Oh, he should have crossed that in first time. Back to Mason Mount. Oh, keeper palms it away. I wonder if Hudson-Odoi could have whipped that cross in a bit quicker to the back post for Alonso. He was offside anyway. He looked a bit offside. But if you look at this back, slide rule pass, he is offside. But look at that. First time ball, whip it to the back post and Alonso. Difficult cross, but I could have done it. Hooper says, I don't think we give Drawty enough credit, but the graphics look amazing. They are amazing. He gets a lot of credit from me. He does get a lot of credit from me. Would you rather win the UEFA Champions League or the Prem? Says John. Good question. ZX coming on. Just rolling his socks up. I would rather win the Premier League at the moment, but it will be different for every club. Man City would rather win the Champions League because they haven't won it. For Man United, we haven't won the Premier League in ages, so I think it's important that we win the Premier League. Arsenal would take either. Anything will do. But yeah, I'd rather win the Premier League as a United question at the moment, as a United fan at the moment. If you could sign one Chelsea player, who would it be? Oh, here we go. This should be a goal. Oh, no. The options weren't there for Hudson-Odoi. Goes for a corner. Mark, I'll take a punt on Kante. I hope Ollie makes changes. We can be flat. Just worried about that, says Mikael Roach. 15 minutes to go here. I think Chelsea are going to win this 2-1. I do think they'll get the goal. I just feel it's that sort of game. It's one of those games where things are going bad for Southampton and it will keep going bad. And Chelsea are in a run of good form at the moment and it will keep that way. They'll find a goal by some means, whether it's a penalty, a deflection or whatever. I do think Chelsea will find the winner here. What would be a starting 11 for Euros, says Kieran. We've already done it, mate. We did it at half-time. And thanks for the super chat. Hi, Mark. Hope you're keeping well from Ireland. Would you consider doing a setup tour? Just an idea, says Kieran. Everyone keeps asking me to do this, so I won't do it. I feel like Ziyech is being forced to play a different role, which makes him unsettled and needs to work as harder where we're used to him cutting in, says Christian. I like Ziyech. He's a good player. Jorginho and Ziyech are coming on. 15 minutes. It's these sort of games, though, if you are Ziyech, where you can, you want to come on in a game like this and force your way into the team. You don't really want to be coming up on for 15 minutes when it's 4-0 because the game's already won. You want to come on in a game like this. Of course, you want your team. Lovely play by James, and Werner loses it. Bit of a break here if they move it quick enough. Redmond, not a lot going on. And that's going to go out for a throw-in. Won't happen, but would you swap Pogba for Marquinhos, says Ed Woodward. Well, I suppose you get your centre-back, don't you? What do you think of French centre-back? No, cheese sandwich, rubbish, absolutely rubbish. But yeah, if you Ziyech, he's coming on for the sub, Hudson-Odoi. Subbing the sub. You'd be pissed off with that. You'd be right pissed off with that. Subbing the sub. You can take off a sub, yeah. Somebody just said, can you do that? Well, no, that's what I mean. It's quite rare to take off a sub. But you can do it. But he only came on at half-time. So, I don't think he was doing that bad, was he, Hudson-Odoi? But just shows you that Moise Kean, yeah, that happened with Everton, didn't it? But yeah, as a footballer, you are going to take that really badly. If you've come on as a sub, you don't expect it. When you look to the side, you don't expect your number to be there. So Ziyech's on. But yeah, this is the sort of game you want to come on if you're Ziyech because you can be the match winner. David Lee says he's got a knock. He didn't look like he had a knock to me, David. He looked very, very angry to be coming off, unless he's angry with the knock. To the guy who asked Mark if he could buy someone from Chelsea, who would it be? Would most likely be Kovacic because he loves Sims's car. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that question. Yeah, it would be Kovacic. Timo Werner has been the invisible man today, says Road to Dawn. Hi Mark, you remind me of a young Mr. Tumble. No offence by that either. Young Mr. Tumble, oh my God. Thank you for that, anything with Tom. Cross comes in. Chelsea are very good at scoring from corners. And Azpilicueta was offside anyway, but he had a one-on-one. What will you do if Man United bottle top four? Says I'm grateful. Well, I won't do anything, will I? I won't be very happy, but I won't do anything. Yeah, Azpilicueta was miles off there. So, ooh, that's a good stretch. Ooh, yeah, get it out, get it out. I think I want to dance now. Minamino's come off for Southampton as well. Would you take Hudson-Odoi at United? I'd have to watch more of him to know. We do need a winger. I don't watch every Chelsea game, and sometimes I see him, I think he looks dangerous, and sometimes I think he overplays the ball a bit. So, you know, but that's what happens when you're young. But coming up for 10 to go. Is Pulisic injured, by the way? Because a lot of people are still mentioning him, and I think that he is. I think he is injured. Coop Miners is a good player, Nazar. I quite like him. What's happening with Stengs as well? Because he's another one. Where was he at? Was it AZ Alkmaar? Is he still there? Has he moved on yet? He's a good player as well. Pulisic is injured. Yes, thank you to everyone who's saying that. Are you going to do a Burnley West Brom watch along? Oh my God, no. Definitely not. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner while I have a little stretch. Everyone's welcome on this channel. That's football. That's what it's about. Generic football channel with lots of chat. You don't get watch-alongs like this everywhere. Interactive and fun. Whilst being serious about the match as well. But I still think there's going to be a late winner in this for Chelsea. I'd be very surprised if this finished 1-1. I'd be even more surprised if Southampton won. But I just feel that Chelsea chance that people keep talking about is going to come in. And there's not been many of them, I must admit. There hasn't been many chances for Chelsea in this game. So you've got to say that Southampton have defended very well, haven't you? You have to say that. Grealish is out injured for 3 weeks, apparently, says Ian. Oh, I won't do that tomorrow then. I'm not that interested. Watching Villa without Grealish is like having steak and chips without a steak. Just doesn't work. So I'll give that one a skip tomorrow then. I didn't realise that. Yusuf says Stengs hasn't got good enough goals assists. He's just a YouTube player. No, I talk about Stengs. I don't watch him on YouTube or anything like that. I talk about Stengs in relation to when he played against us for Alkmaar. Although Lera says that Stengs, Shaws and Cup Miners will never be United level. God, they must be bad then. Scooby-Doo, says Zach. They must be bad if they can't play for United. I mean, it's not United are not we're not at the level we need to be yet. Right, there's a player down here for Southampton. He's injured. Oh. What's that all about? Grealish is not injured. See, you find out these things. We might be doing a watch along tomorrow then. It's raining in Southampton, and Dinner Pro is down injured again. He's injured a lot. He is. Gets a lot of bad tackles because he's a skillful player. Bruno Fernandes has been named the Player of the Week in the Europa League, says Master. Not surprised. What a quality player he is. What a quality player he is. Top of the Europa League there. Fantastic player, so he is. So, can Chelsea... This would be 2 points drop for Chelsea, definitely. Definitely would. But in fairness, I think Southampton have been more in the game in the last sort of 10 minutes than they've ever been, and I don't know whether that's just the changes that Chelsea have made. I mean, he took Kovacic off, didn't he? That was a mistake. Mark, why are Spurs playing in the Europa League 5 p.m. this Wednesday? Any reason, says Jordan Such. I think it's because they're both at home, both North London clubs, and you can't have that on a third. You can't have that Arsenal and Spurs both at home, so they've got to play on a Wednesday. Dinner Pro has been class. Keep an eye on him, says Matt Fellows. I presume I'm right on that Spurs thing, because they are playing on Wednesday, aren't they? Oh, God, I'm tired. Do you know why that is? Friday night Raz, I call it. A few drinks on a Zoom call on a Friday, family members, and it's always a late night. Lovely cross by Mason Mount. Oh, Reece James. What a cross by Mason Mount. Reece James is on the edge of the 6-yard box. Right-hand side. Tuchel can't believe it. He's not happy, but it's a lovely run by Mason Mount down the left-hand side. Puts Dinner Pro on his arse. Direct. Look, what a run by Mason Mount. What a cross as well. Reece James should attack that. Shouldn't let it bounce. He should hit it on the full volley. Go towards it. Don't let it bounce. Could have headed it or something like that. Big chance that. Can you call Niall a clown? Says United fan. There we go. And please give a birthday shout out to my loyal PA Lynn, 65 today. Please explain to her that it's a present due to lockdown restrictions, as Pontius Partridge. And I hope you've given her a pay rise from £9,500. Who's his favourite Space Ghetto? Space Ghetto. Space Ghetto. Space Ghetto. Spice Girl. Probably was a bit posh back in the day. and probably now. I mean, they're all getting on a bit now, aren't they? Age has not been kind. Well, it probably has been kind, but they don't look the same as they did 30 years ago. Who does? Oh, here we go. Oh, go on, chase it down, Werner. Keeper's got that. It's Genepro. Sorry, I'm rubbish at names. I think it almost gives it that human element when I get the names wrong. We've got this lad at Manchester United who everyone calls him Short Tire because that's what it looks like it is. And apparently it's pronounced Shotieri. So I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people talking about that this week. But people spell it how it looks, Short Tire, but apparently it's Shotieri. Chelsea on the attack here, Jorginho. I'm surprised he's not bought Jorginho. It's pronounced Ginipo. Mark, says Jamie Meller. No, it's Shori Terry. Says Ben Blackshaw. Okay. It doesn't look anything like it's pronounced. That's what I'm going to say. So if you do get it wrong, it's Shori Tira. Shori Tiri. Shori Tiri. Which actually, it does look like it's pronounced, actually, if you think about it. Short Tire. Shori Tiri is right. Shori Tiri. Shori Tiri. So you've got to get used to that when he gets into the future team. But Chelsea are attacking quite well. Mount's getting well into this game now. They've won another corner here. Chelsea are always a threat off corners. Short Tire is pronounced Shoretira. 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 Says Jamie Meller. Well, they're gonna have commentators are gonna have a lot of fun with that name, aren't they? That's all they're gonna say. Cameron Weaver says, please do a Burnley West Brom watch along. I'd rather crap my pants. Which I'm not willing to do. Not voluntary anyway. Put me in a wood with a bear and I might. And it's still 1-1. Mason Mount's just hit a shot over the bar there. I don't think the subs have done Chelsea any favours. And I stand by what I said. I think Giroud would have been a real asset in a game like this because they can't whip a cross in. Southampton are very, very tall. I can't understand why Giroud's not been chucked on for a game like this. David O'Donovan, I can see your comments, yeah. But still time, 88 minutes, 89th minute now. Very good point for Southampton if they get it, having lost their last 6 or 7 in a row. Of course, Chelsea unbeaten since Tuchel took over, but they will want the win here because they will see it as 2 points dropped. Lovely skill by Mason Mount. Oh, deserved a goal that. The cross was good, but Mason Mount's just a fantastic player. Really is. Really is. Looking at Chelsea's next few games, by the way, interesting that they've got Man United, obviously Atletico Madrid on Tuesday night. We'll be doing a watch along on here, so make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Then they've got Man United on Sunday. Then they've got Liverpool on the Thursday after that. And then they've got Everton and Leeds. So they've got a tough run of games, Chelsea. And they would have fancied a win today. So they've got United, Liverpool, Everton and Leeds as their next 4 games. Well, I'd fancy them to beat Leeds, but, you know, Liverpool and United as their next 2 games. It's not a guaranteed 6 points, is it? So they really, really, really could have done with getting a win here. Could be a very big point for Southampton. South. I call it South because I'm from down south. I'm not really. Peas and carrots. That's not Cockney. Apples and stairs. Apples and pears is stairs. Here we go. We'll have some fun here because there's an injured player. Bees and honey, money. Army and navy. I want some army and navy on my chips. Gravy. Basin of gravy. Baby. Doesn't even work. The ultimate guide to Cockney rhyming slang on the Guardian website is it's gone for a goal kick. See if it'll ring out. Well, top one is apple and pears, which is stairs. Army and navy gravy. Borrow and beg, egg. I'll have a borrow and beg I'll have a poached borrow and beg. Just say egg. It's quicker. Box of toys, noise. Oh, there's a right box of toys next door. He's making a right box of toys. Can I keep still? Can't keep still. Treadmill. Coles and Coke broke. I'm glad I didn't say that one. It's homophobic. I'll have to see what it is before I say it now. Cuts and scratches, matches. Just say matches. Duck and dive, hide. Dustbin lids, kids. I've heard that. Wait a minute. Southampton are on the attack. Zuma puts it out for a corner. I tell you what, there's only a minute to go. I think they're going to get a point here. We'll have more of those on the watch along later. But let's just watch the last minute here. They've got a corner, Southampton. Doesn't look like Chelsea are going to get the win. Got to say, very pleased as a United fan. But also got to say that, I'm surprised. I thought Chelsea would win today. They've been on a really good run. Man United and Liverpool next. That momentum towards top four. Going to be interesting over the next couple of days for Chelsea. Games for Chelsea. But Southampton, realistically, are good for a draw. They do deserve a draw. They've not, Chelsea scored a penalty. They've not scored a clean-cut goal. So, Jordan Such says, I need a gypsy's kiss. I don't know what that one is. Piss. That's what it is. Must be. 5 seconds to go. He's not blown yet. It's not 2-1. Don't listen to the live. Never listen to the live comments on fake scores because we're very close together anyway when it comes to time. And Southampton are actually going to do a substitution. He's mad. Hasenhüttl's mad. What are you doing? Don't do it. It just adds time on. We're already over 93 minutes. Don't do that. That's what Ollie did, and we lost the bloody points. We lost the points. Werner with the scorpion kick to win it, says Gruff. It'd be some scorpion kick considering it's a Southampton throw down in the corner. Still down in the corner for Southampton. Play for a corner. Oh, they've won a free kick, Chelsea. Mendy. I think he's going to surely blow. I don't know how he's given so much time here, Anthony Taylor. I'll tell you what, if Chelsea nick this, you would really be saying, how is he given so much time? He's added another minute on top of the minute. Can you give a shout out to my friend Mara? Says Hassan. Shout out there. Still playing on. He's meant to add 3. We're on to 94.5. You can tell Anthony Taylor's the ref. It's like bloody playing FIFA, this is. He's pulling these extra minutes out his arse. And there's the final whistle. It's 1-1. And I think that Southampton will be very, very happy with that point. And I think a point's a fair result, actually. To make a point, I think a point's a fair result. Hasenhüttl will be happy to stop the run of losses for Southampton. And I think that I personally think, I don't know what everyone else thinks, I personally think Southampton were good for a draw. Don't think Chelsea deserved to lose either, but they didn't do enough to win the game today. Southampton well organised. Mason Mount probably my man of the match. Thought he played really well again, but they didn't do enough to win the game, and I would definitely go with the Southampton point being a fair result, and you know, also a good result. A good result if you're in the top 4 race. The league table as it looks now, Chelsea go on to 43 points, 3 points behind Leicester and Man United, but they've both got to play, so that opportunity to open up a gap is there. West Ham could go above them if they beat Spurs tomorrow. Liverpool could go level with Chelsea if they beat Everton, which we're doing a watch along for later on. The race for top 4 is interesting, and Chelsea will feel they've missed an opportunity there, but didn't do enough to win it for me, Chelsea. And what I would say is I think his substitutions were wrong. I think Hudson-Odoi and Kovacic, they looked far more dangerous with those two on. When Jorginho and Ziyech came on, I think they lost the fire. They lost the momentum. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and remember we're back live at 5. I'll set the live chat up for that now. Live at 5 o'clock for Everton, Liverpool at Anfield. 5:30 kickoff. We'll be live at 5 o'clock. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and I'll see you in a couple of hours. Thanks for watching.